Make today iconic. What is up, guys? It's Upcome Sports, back with the LA Clippers Super Realistic Rebuild Series, Part 4. In this one, here are the objectives first off, and if you guys haven't seen the previous parts, there'll be a link in the description, or there'll be like a card at the top of the screen that you guys can click on, and you guys can go look at those before you see this one. But here in the draft lottery, we don't have that good of a pick, but we are going to be picking, and we are going to take a point guard here, Darren Barrett out of Texas Tech. Much more of a defender than a shooter, so he might fit into our system pretty well. So here's the roster for this season. Kawhi Leonard and Jimmy Butler both have 1 year left on their contracts plus a player option. So this might be the last 2 years that we have at winning a championship. Patrick Beverley, we did re-sign to 2 more years. And also we were able to sign Dario Saric on a pretty good contract. And Charlie Pope, we'll see how he can progress. He probably won't be that good, but here is the rotation. And we're looking pretty solid. The bench is definitely deeper with Dario Saric in the lineup. He'll add some shooting to our team. Not too much defense, but we don't really need defense with all these other defensive guys. And Darren Barrett, we will send to the G League. System is going to be the same, grit and grind under Doc Rivers. So at the All-Star break, no big injuries. And Kawhi Leonard is obviously going to be on the All-Star team. No Shai Gilgeous, no Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler has not been on an All-Star team yet. So here at the trade deadline, we're going to check out how we're doing. 39-15, number 1 seed currently. So we're ahead of the Kings by a little bit. And it looks like the Thunder and the Blazers are behind us, but we're not shooting that well from 3 though. So for the season, Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to win the MVP. And he also won Defensive Player of the Year. Doc Rivers actually Coach of the Year, which is probably because we didn't have that many injuries. But Kawhi Leonard on an All-NBA team, averaging a little bit down numbers, but still number 1 seed and still a great defender. So it makes sense. And Kawhi obviously on an All-Defensive First team. Jimmy Butler also on a defensive team, All-Defensive Second team. So that's very good. That is why we signed both of these guys. Kawhi Leonard obviously can do a lot more than Jimmy Butler can, but they both are very versatile. As you guys can see, number 1 seed, winning a lot of games, and no major injuries, so we're going into the playoffs very healthy. We're playing the Spurs again. I believe we played them either last year or a couple years ago, but here you guys can see the stats. Shai Gilgeous getting a lot better at playmaking and defense. Jerome Robinson averaging some pretty good numbers and percentages. Bol also improving every season. Dario Saric had a nice season. Jalen McDaniels, okay. So here's the rotation going into the playoffs. Bol does have a little bit of an injury. It's minimal, so he'll still be able to play. We'll just lower his minutes a little bit. But yeah, the rotation is the same, and let's see what we can do. So here is the Spurs roster, pretty much the same as it's been. DeMar DeRozan averaging pretty good numbers. Mike Conley getting old, but still a very good defender. DeJounte Murray, another very good defender, and averaging 15 points per game. Let's get right into the first round of the playoffs against the Spurs. Game 1. We win again. We always win game 1. It's a given. Game 2, we also take it. Game 3, can we go up 3-0? They do win game 3, so it's 2-1 now. And we do take a 3-1 lead, so let's see if we can win in 5. And we do win in 5, so we'll be moving on to the next round. Jimmy Butler with a nice game, 24 points, 7 assists, 4 steals, and a block. Kawhi Leonard, also a nice game, 24 points as well. And yeah, just an all-around performance here. Looks like DeRozan tried his best. So did Mike Conley, averaged pretty good numbers. So did DeRozan, but they just didn't have anyone else. DeJounte Murray kind of fell off. So in the next round, we're actually playing the OKC Thunder. Russell Westbrook is a 92 overall. Paul George is a 91, averaging pretty good numbers in the first round. DeAndre Jordan, they did somehow acquire. Remember, they had Tristan Thompson last time we faced them. Dennis Schroeder still on this team, 82 overall. But outside of that, not much else. So let's get into the second round of the playoffs. Game 1, we win again. Pretty much a given at this point. Game 2, we also take it. Game 3, up 3-0 now. Can we sweep the Thunder? We end up sweeping the Thunder in a crazy series. But looks like Westbrook and Paul George did have some pretty good games in this closeout Game 4. And pretty much the whole series, but wasn't enough. They just don't have a bench or like a third option, really. DeAndre Jordan is not that guy. Kawhi Leonard with a nice game. Jimmy Butler also stepping up as a second option. Shai Gilgeous has a third option, getting some pretty good numbers as well. So we are playing the Utah Jazz in the conference finals. Kind of a weird team. I think we beat them in the first or second round a couple of years ago, or maybe even in the championship run, but Donovan Mitchell was injured, so he'll be back, and they do have Eric Bledsoe, Favors, Rudy Gobert, so they're a very good defensive team. So we're here in the conference finals, tied at 2 games apiece, and we're going to simcast this one. This one's a very important game right here, so let's see who's going to take it. Looks like Utah does have a pretty big lead here in the fourth, and they do end up taking it 124-103. Kawhi Leonard with an okay game, not shooting very efficiently. He hasn't shot very efficiently at all this series, being guarded by, I'm not even sure who's guarding him. I know it's not Donovan Mitchell, but it might be Joe Ingles. Donovan Mitchell had a really bad game, but they still managed to pull it off. So let's see if we can send it to a Game 7 maybe. And it looks like we do have a lead. Going into the fourth, we do have a lead. Can we keep the lead? Still a close game. And we do end up separating a little bit, winning by 6 there. Kawhi Leonard with finally a nice game. Bol also stepping up, getting the second most points for the team. Jimmy Butler did not play well, but it looks like Donovan Mitchell might have gotten injured actually. So we have a really good chance right here. Donovan Mitchell out. And we'll see if we can close it out here at home in LA. And the Jazz take a huge lead in the fourth and end up winning by 23 points. Kawhi Leonard, it was just not Kawhi Leonard or Jimmy Butler series. So, yeah, just some horrible shooting numbers from Kawhi. Absolutely choking in this Game 7 without Donovan Mitchell. So, I don't know what happened. But I guess O'Shea Brissett went off. So the Hawks and the Jazz are going to go at it in the finals. Kind of a weird finals here, but anything can happen. And the Jazz looks like they're down Game 7, and they do end up winning. Donovan Mitchell came back to win the finals MVP. So a really disappointing playoffs there. Losing in a Game 7 without the other team's best player. And here in the draft lottery, we do have a pick. So we are going to take a German shooting guard out of Germany, obviously, but Dirk Schroeder. So a combination of Dirk Nowitzki and Dennis Schroeder might be good. Who knows? Shooting guard. We'll see. So here's the roster after the offseason. We still have Kawhi and Jimmy Butler, who did opt into their player options, so they'll be here for this year. And we also did extend Shai Gilgeous to a 5-year deal and Jerome Robinson to a 4-year deal, so they'll be here for a while. And this might be the last chance with this team to win a championship. We might let Jimmy Butler walk in free agency, but we'll definitely look at bringing Kawhi back because he is a game-changing type player. So here's the rotation, and yeah, it's pretty much the same bench. So we're trying to keep it consistent here and keep the grit and grind mold with this team. But Darren Barrett, again, we'll send to the G League. Let him progress for a bit. So we are in the month of January, and Jimmy Butler is gone down with an injury. He will be out for the season yet again. His second season-ending injury in this 4-year span. So we've only really gotten 2 years out of him. He's in a contract year. He's 32 years old. We're not going to bring him back. He's prone to injury, so he's going to ask for a lot of money. So looks like Jimmy Butler has played his last game in a Clippers uniform. So here at the All-Star break, Kawhi Leonard is a given on the All-Star team, but J.Butler did make it on the All-Star team as well as a reserve, but still pretty cool for our point guard, still very young. And here at the trade deadline, we're going to check out how we're doing and see if the Jimmy Butler injury affected us at all. Looks like it didn't. We are the number 1 seed at pretty much the exact same record as last season, so we've done pretty well without him. And here we are going to make a trade, a small trade here. Trey Burke, we're not really using him off the bench. He's a 79 overall point guard. And we're going to throw a second-round pick also at Dallas for Reggie Bullock, who they're not even playing. So they get a second-round pick out of this. And now here is the rotation after that trade. It's going to stay the same. Jerome Robinson still going to be the starter. But now Reggie Bullock is going to be a big piece off the bench with his shooting. And he's been shooting very effectively in the past years. So in this season, Anthony Davis is the MVP, RJ Hampton, 6th man, Anthony Davis also defensive player, and Quentin Snyder for the Jazz Coach of the Year, who did knock us out in the playoffs last season. Kawhi Leonard still on the All-NBA teams, still dominating at, I believe he's 31. Yeah, he's 31 years old, and also making a defensive team. Jimmy Butler obviously not making it. He did get injured very early, but we were the 2nd seed behind the Utah Jazz. So looks like the Utah Jazz are going to be our biggest competition in these playoffs, especially without Jimmy Butler, because he was the one guarding Donovan Mitchell. But we're going to be playing the Blazers in the first round. Pretty much Dame and CJ. They haven't made any big pickups, but here are the stats. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, again, you can see why he was an all-star, improving every season. Jerome Robinson had some really good numbers, as well as the starter Bol, again, improving every season, especially in his percentages. Dario Saric, some nice numbers, and Reggie Bullock actually had a really good impact off the bench. So here's the rotation going into the playoffs. Kawhi Leonard is a little bit hurt, but it is day to day and it's nothing too big, so we are going to keep him and give him a lot of minutes. He should recover from that fairly easily. So the Blazers roster is pretty much the same as I said. CJ and Dame having to carry the load with Nurkic, who is injured, so I don't know how big of a piece that's going to play in this puzzle, but yeah, nothing else beyond that. So let's see what happens in this first round of the playoffs against the Blazers. We should be able to sweep them or win in 5, but we win game 1 again. And game 2, we also win. Kawhi Leonard is fully healthy now. Game 3, they do win, though. So they also win game 4. So they tie it up at 2. Big game right here. And we do end up winning that one. So let's see if we can close it out. And no, they're going to force a game 7 here. So it looks like Jimmy Butler might be having a bigger impact than we first thought. But can we close it out? We do win 124-93. Nothing too big here. Bol with a double-double and 20 points. And Nurkic leading them in scoring. Dame Lillard did not have a good game in this Game 7. Neither did CJ McCollum, shooting very badly. Had an okay playoff series thus far, though. So in the second round, we're actually meeting some old companions here. LeBron James and the LA Lakers. Vucevic is still on this team. Brandon Ingram still on the team, but he is injured. Kyle Kuzma. But I don't see Lonzo Ball anywhere, so they are starting Xavier Rattan-Mays at point guard. So let's see what's going to go down here in this round of the playoffs. Last time we did sweep the Lakers in the playoffs, but they do win game 1 in this one. Finally breaking our game 1 winning streak, but we do go up 2-1, and they tie it up at 2-2. So this one's a big game right here. We do win that one. Can we win in 6, or will there be another game 7? We do win in 6. Kuzma and LeBron combining for 42 points in this game. LeBron averaging good numbers all around. Vucevic did not, though. And Montrez actually with a double-double, leading us in scoring. Bol second leading scorer. So it is going to be a rematch of the Western Conference Finals from last season against the Utah Jazz. As I said, our biggest competition. Looks like Eric Bledsoe did regress, though. And they did add Aaron Gordon, though. He's only an 81 overall. I don't know why. So the series is tied at 1 apiece. And in this game 3, the Utah Jazz take it with Shai Gilgeous dropping 22. Kawhi Leonard not having a good game at all. I don't know why Kawhi never has good series against the Jazz in this video at least, but 3-1 down now. It's looking very slim, our chances to go to the finals. Kawhi Leonard finally having a good game there, but still not a very good shooting night. 24 points on 21 shots. But yeah, the Jazz are just a complete team, all-around team. But we are going to force another game here. 3-2 the series now. And it looks like Donovan Mitchell is still having a pretty good game. We did put Kawhi Leonard on Donovan Mitchell, so I don't know how he's having these good of a performances still. But we are going to force a game 7. So Kawhi Leonard finally showing up and shooting a little bit more efficiently. Bol also helping out with the scoring, even though that's not his main purpose. He's mostly on the team for defense, pretty much like a Rudy Gobert. But game 7, huge game here. It is in Utah though, so we're going to have to dig deep. And it looks like we're blowing them out in the 4th, and we win 140-107. And we explode with an offensive flurry, which we're not known for, so I don't know how we did it in this game 7 on the road. Jalen McDaniels, we did start in this series for defensive purposes, and it looks like Donovan Mitchell had a pretty good game in this one, and so did O'Shea Brissett, but not really that good. So we are going to be playing the Indiana Pacers in the finals, who we did match up with in our first championship run in the finals, so that's kind of ironic. But they do have Julius Randle back. In that other finals, he was injured, so I don't know how good they're going to be, but they got to the finals. So it is going to be a 2020 finals rematch, and let's see what's going to happen in game 1. We actually lose to the Pacers in game 1. Montrez with 19-9, Kawhi 17-10-4, but not a great shooting night at all. Bol not a great shooting night either. Victor Oladipo 22 points, Sabonis with a double-double, Randall getting in his points. Game 2, we tie up the series 1-1. Jerome Robinson with a nice game. Shai Gilgeous also a nice game. Kawhi Leonard just continues to struggle. I'm not sure why, but maybe it's his age. And we let Drew Eubanks get 24 points and Randall had 20. Oladipo didn't even shoot that well, but Kawhi Leonard looks like he has a small injury, but he already healed in the same day, I guess, like magic. And Oladipo drops 36, so yeah, we're going to lose this game. And we're going to be in a pretty big hole. Sabonis had a good game. Kawhi Leonard leading us in scoring, only had 17 though, so Kawhi just not showing up at all in these finals. Can we tie the series up? And we actually go down 3-1 again, just like the conference finals. Oladipo drops 34. Randall also had a 30-piece with a double-double. And it's not looking too good right now. Jerome Robinson 24. Kawhi also 24. Not much scoring from anyone else though. Game 5 at home. Can we do pull it out. So it's 3-2 now. Kawhi finally having a half-decent game with 26 points and 4 steals. Montrez also had a double-double, but Sabonis had a good game. Oladipo not really showing out too much except for those 2 30-point performances, but we do tie it up 3-3, and we're going to send it to a game 7. Sabonis with another good game. Oladipo not having his greatest performance in the last 2 games, but still with a pretty good lead that we have closed down on. Kawhi finally showing up in this series. So we are going to simcast this game 7, and if it's close, we'll try to hop in and see the final seconds of this game. But in the 4th, we do have a lead, and they do tie it up. So we're in the game, and we are down 2 with about a minute 20 left. We are on defense, so we're going to have to get a stop. Randall in the post with a tough fadeaway, and he hits it somehow. That's not Randall's strength, but he somehow hit the shot. And what a dangerous pass. And a good lay-in by Jalen McDaniels. I don't know, again, why he's in at center. I guess because we don't have a center off the bench, but I would think they would put Montrez at center instead of our backup small forward, but they get an easy bucket right there because we don't have a center in the game, and I don't know why they're not calling timeout either. to get Bobo or Montrez in this game when it is a game 7 of the NBA Finals. But Kawhi trying to get a bucket here. They get it into Jalen McDaniels with a tough shot. Somehow gets it in. So Jalen McDaniels, I am talking a little bit of bad about him, but he's getting some buckets here in game 7 of the finals. So can we get a stop on Randall? 2 guys, no one gets a steal. They get it back out. Shot clock is running down here. They get a screen for that point guard. I don't know who that is, but they're moving it around. Sabonis takes a dumb shot, but we don't have a center in the game, so we're down 4 with 18 seconds left, and we're going to see who they're going to go to in this clutch moment. Probably Kawhi Leonard. Jerome Robinson dancing, trying to get a shot, though, and he gets blocked by Bogdanovic. I don't know why Jerome Robinson thought he was Kyrie Irving or something, but he tried to go one-on-one and got blocked. But Todd is going to miss the first free throw, and he makes the second. 5-point game here. We do need a quick shot or a 3. And they're going to get to Kawhi for a 3. He missed that, so this series is pretty much over. So here you guys can see the stats. Miles Turner in this one ends up bonus leading the way. So pretty much a collective effort from this team. Really underestimated their collective unit. Very well balanced team. Everyone getting a little bit of action, but Kawhi Leonard absolutely choking in this game 7 like he did in the previous one. Don't know what's wrong with him. So Victor Oladipo is going to win the Finals MVP, averaging some average numbers, but I guess he was okay in some games. He did have some 30-point performances. Is this the end of an era for the Clippers with Kawhi and Jimmy Butler? Should they go younger, or should they re-sign Kawhi Leonard at least? Thank you guys for watching, and make sure to subscribe for some more videos.